Hello children, welcome to the YouTube channel of Welkin National School, Vasai East. This is Mrs. Mamata Biju, your subject teacher of SST. Today I will be teaching for standard 7th geography, that is chapter number 5, winds. We feel that the wind but cannot see it. When certain objects in our surrounding move, we experience wind. The movement of air is called wind. Why does air move? Now in this small paragraph they have explained that now wind we can feel but it cannot be seen. So the object is moving and we can see that object moving, but we cannot see that wind. So it is the wind that is making it move. So this movement of air is called wind. Now let's take a small example. Fold a paper into two same sized roll. Now in the picture they have given 5.1 generation of wind. The two kids, they are using the paper of same size and they have rolled it. Keep both the paper rolls on one side of the table. Now these two paper, this paper and this paper, it should be in the same position. You and your friend should select one roll each. One, she is selecting this roll and this one is selecting this roll. Without touching the roll of the paper or the table, what can be done to move the paper rolls to the other end of the table? Now if you want to move that paper without touching or doing anything, without touching the paper or without moving, how will you move? See, in the picture they have given this. She is flapping from the book and this boy is generating the wind, generating the air from his mouth. See who moves the paper roll first to the other end of the table. Now in the given picture both are generating the wind at the same time. What could be the reason of the delay in making the rolls reach to the other end of the table? Now one is taking too much time for generation of wind and one is doing properly. What can we do to move the rolls to the other end of the table with a greater speed? Can a bottle filled with the water be moved to the other end of the table in this manner? Can we use the same method that you tried for the moving the paper rolls? Now for to move the paper rolls we are generating the air from the mouth. So that is the why it is moving, because the paper is weight is light. So same way, but we cannot, if we keep the bottle filled with water on the table, we cannot generate wind. That generation of wind cannot be moved of that bottle, because bottle is containing water and it is heavy in weight. Only light weight can move. Geographical explanation. This is the picture they have given, the original direction of the air from high pressure to low pressure. Now from upward, that is 90 degree, that is over there it is low pressure, and when you come down it is high pressure. In the equator it is low pressure, then again 30 degree high pressure, then 60 degree low pressure. So this is the direction of the air. We have learned that the air pressure is not uniform across the earth's surface. Air moves from high pressure area towards low pressure. Low pressure area in the horizontal manner. Winds are generated due to this movement. The extent of the differences in the air pressure affects the velocity of the wind. If there is less difference in the pressure, wind blows with less velocity. Winds blow with great velocity if the pressure differences is greater. Wind speed also varies. Wind velocity is measured in the units of knots or kilometer per hour. When we consider the earth as a whole, we find the direction of the winds is influenced by the rotation of the earth. In the northern hemisphere, winds get deflected towards the right of their original direction, whereas in the southern hemisphere they get deflected towards the left of their original direction. See figure 5.2. This direction has been shown by the curved arrows in the figure. The rotation from the west to east causes this change in the original directions of the wind. Now in figure 5.2, this is the figure 5.2. Now in this paragraph they have explained that air moves from high pressure towards low pressure. Now area in the horizontal manner, if there is a difference in the air pressure in a particular area, suppose there is a high pressure, so towards, and in the other close by low pressure, so the wind will blow from high pressure towards the low pressure. Now over here this is the low pressure and over here is the high pressure. So because of low pressure and high pressure, wind direction changes. See over here the wind direction is been changed. Okay, when there will be a big difference, the wind blows with greater velocity, and if the pressure differences is greater to the wind speed, that varies. So wind velocity is measured in the units of knots or kilometer per hour. Now in the red color you will see the direction of the wind are marked on the planet Earth. So look at the arrows in the northern hemisphere, that is 30 to 60 degree. It shows original direction of the wind, but the blue arrow is showing the deflection to the right in the north. So this is because of the rotation of the earth. Now this is the planetary wind and pressure belts on the earth. Now this is the polar high pressure belt and this is 90 degree. They have given 80 degree. On 80 degree there is a polar wind, and on 65 over here subpolar low pressure belt is created, and in between there is a mid latitudinal high pressure belt is there. Then there is a equatorial low pressure belt, mid latitudinal high pressure belt, then this is subpolar low pressure belt, then this is polar wind. Winds are known by the direction from which they blow. For example, westerlies are wind that blow from the west. The direction of the blowing, the duration, the region covered and the condition of the air determine the following wind types. Planetary winds. Some winds blow regularly on the earth from high to low pressure belts throughout the year. These winds cover a large portion of the earth, hence these are called planetary winds. For example, the easterlies and westerlies and the polar wind. In both the hemisphere, the wind blow from high pressure area between 25 degree and 35 degree parallel to the equatorial low pressure belt. Figure 5.3. Due to the rotation of the earth, their original direction changes. In the northern hemisphere, they blow from the northeast to the southwest, whereas in the southern hemisphere, they blow from the southeast to the northwest. These winds coming from both the sides converge near the equatorial calm belt. These winds are known as the easterlies. In both the hemisphere, wind blow from the mid-latitudinal high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt situated near 60° parallel, that is 5.3 figure. Their original direction changes due to the rotation of the earth. In the southern hemisphere, these winds blow from the northwest to the southeast, and in northern hemisphere they blow from the southwest to the northeast. These winds are called westerlies. In both the hemisphere, wind blowing from the polar high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt, that is 55° to 65°, are called polar winds. Generally they blow from east to west. Now in this paragraph they have explained that now the wind is known as their direction for wind is known as their for direction. Now example, if the wind blow from west, it is westerlies. Now there are following winds types. It is according to the direction of the blowing, duration, then the region covered and the condition. The first is the planetary wind. These winds cover the big portion of the earth and it blows throughout the year from high to low pressure. For example, the easterlies, westerlies and polar wind. And in figure 5.3, the mid latitudinal high pressure belt between 25 to 35° in both the hemisphere, and from there the winds are blowing towards the equator. So this is easterlies, and the direction they blow from northeast to the southwest, and in southern hemisphere it blows from southeast to the northwest. So these both wind converge to the equatorial calm belt, and that is why it is known as easterlies. Now the wind blow from the mid latitudinal high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt, which is 60° parallel, and in the southern hemisphere they blow from southwest to the northeast. They are called westerlies. Local winds. The winds that blow for the short duration of time originate in specific region and blow over a limited area are called local winds. Local winds affect the climate of the region when they blow. These winds are known as different local names in the different region where they blow. Now over here, local winds, in the paragraph they have explained that the winds that blow from short period of time for limited area are known as local winds, and these affect the climate of the region where they blow. Now they have given this valley. In the valley side, how the breeze directions is happening. They have given, read the following information carefully and draw a diagram of the mountain breeze accordingly. Now what are the characteristics? Let's read. Mountain cools down quickly at night. The valley zone is comparatively warmer. Air pressure is greater on the mountain. Wind blows from the mountain towards the valley. Then the hot and light area from the valley is pushed upward and the cool air rushes down into the valley. Mountain winds set in after sunset. Now in the valley breeze I'll explain you. Valley and the mountain winds are the local winds. Okay. During the daytime, the air on the mountain top gets heated faster, so the air pressure will be low. Since the air in the temperature valley is low, the air pressure will be high, and so high air pressure in the valley region, then on the mountain top, so wind starts blowing from high pressure towards the low pressure, and these winds are called as valley winds. At night, mountain tops cool down faster. The air in the valley is warmer. Since the temperature is low on the mountain, so the air pressure will be high. And wind will blow from the mountain towards valley, and so it is called mountain winds. This is the sea breeze Now this is the air on the land gets heated and goes up. Okay, the sun is there, water is there, it gets heated, then the warm air cools and comes down. So the warm air cools and it comes down. Over here it creates high pressure. Over here the cooler sea breeze blows to the land. The all sea breeze goes to the land, and there it creates low pressure. Same way in the land breeze, little bit difference at the night time. Warm air cools and comes down. Okay, before the air in the sea breeze, air on the land gets heated and it goes up. Over here, night time warm air cools and it comes down. Then warm air on the water goes up, and then it creates a low pressure over here, and over here down cool land breeze blows towards the sea. On near to the sea it creates a high pressure. Okay. The land is made up of the dense matter. Land is stable and opaque. As a result, heat is transferred at a greater speed and in a higher proportion. Hence, land gets heated quickly. The density of water is comparatively less. Water is transparent and unstable, hence water does not get heated quickly. As a result, the air pressure in land and water areas is different. In the coastal area, land gets heated during daytime. Hence, the air on the land also gets heated and the air pressure on the land decreases. The sea water gets heated slowly, hence the air is less heated and the air pressure remains high. Wind blowing from the sea towards the land are called sea breezes. At night, land cools down faster as compared to the sea and therefore has higher air pressure. Hence, the land breeze blows from the land towards the sea. Besides these, winds blow under particular condition in different areas. These are also called local winds. For example, Fohn, Chinook, Bora, Lu, etc. See the table on the next page. In this paragraph, they have explained that the air pressure is higher during night time. At the same time, the air pressure on the sea is low. So you can see at night time the temperature is low and the land cools down faster compared to the sea. So the land breeze blow from land towards the sea during the night, and so it's land breeze. So it is called land breeze. Besides these, there are other local winds blowing in different region due to the specific condition that they have given the example like Fohn, then Chinook, then Bora, then Lu. This is the seasonal wind. They have given the major local winds in the world. They have given the name of the wind. There are winds name. Then how it is the nature of that wind, cool, hot or dry or very destructive. Then the characteristics and area of influence. Okay. Now the name of the wind first is Lu. Okay, in the Lu, the nature of wind is hot and it is dry. Blows in the North Indian plains during the summer. This wind, Lu wind, blows in the North Indian plains during the summer season. Then it is generally in the afternoon. They come from a hot Thar desert. Same way, in this table you can just check according to the wind, their nature of wind and the characteristics. Monsoon winds are generated due to the uneven heating of land and water in the different seasons. During summer, monsoon blows from the seas to the land, and in winter they blow from the land to the sea. Southeast Asia, then East Africa, North Australia are the regions where the pronounced effect of these winds are felt. That is figure 5.6. The influence of the monsoon wind is seen in the summer and the winter season in the Indian subcontinent. Due to these winds, the Indian subcontinent experiences monsoon, rainy and retreating monsoon season apart from summer and winter. Now they have given this diagram. This pink part is the equatorial low pressure belt is created. The yellow part over here is mid latitudinal high pressure belt. Okay, now near to the equator, if you go towards the south wind to the Himalaya, over here on top it creates a low pressure. This is southwest seasonal wind, and the same over here they have given. If the wind blows from the Himalaya to the Indian Ocean and over here, and it goes southeast, winds also is created near to the equator, so it creates high pressure. Now in the seasonal wind, they have explained that wind is particularly seasonal, are called seasonal wind. They are generated due to the uneven heating of land and water in the differences of the season. Now in summer, it blows from the sea to the land, and in winter it blows from land to the sea. Example, I can give you Southeast Asia, then East Africa, then North Australia. So these are the region affects this wind. So in the Indian subcontinent, these winds can be seen. Monsoon winds are in fact sea and land breeze blowing on large scale. Most of the precipitation in the Indian subcontinent is the effect of monsoon winds. After crossing the equator, they blow from the southwest towards the Indian subcontinent. During the period from June to September, they are called the southwest monsoon. They are full of moisture. From September to December, because of the low pressure area developing near the equator, winds blow from the Indian subcontinent towards the equator. These are called the northeast monsoon wind. They are dry winds. Now over here in this paragraph they have explained that the precipitation in the Indian subcontinent, it affects monsoon wind, and in June to September they blow from southwest to the Indian subcontinent, and so it is called southwest monsoon wind. Now it is full of moisture. Since they are blowing water bodies towards the land, it contains lot of moisture when they blow, and from September to December near to the equator, low pressures are developed and the wind blow from the Indian subcontinent towards equator. These are called northeast monsoon winds, and it is a dry wind because it's blowing from the land towards the ocean body. Okay. Now cyclone. Cyclonic conditions are created when a low pressure area is surrounded by high pressure area. In these conditions, winds start blowing towards the low pressure area from the surrounding high pressure area. Due to the rotation of the earth, the cyclonic winds in the northern hemisphere move in an anti-clockwise direction. whereas they move in a clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. During a cyclone, the sky is cloudy, winds blow with a very high velocity, and it rains heavily. The air affected by the cyclones is limited. The duration, velocities, direction, and place of origin of these winds is unpredictable. See the image of cyclone obtained by a satellite in figure 5.8. Now in the figure 5.8, this is the cyclone storm. It is in the anti-clockwise clockwise direction. Okay, let me explain you this paragraph of the cyclone. Now it is affected by high pressure and low pressure. It starts blowing due to the rotation of the earth. Now from northern hemisphere it moves in anti-clockwise direction, and in southern hemisphere it moves from clockwise direction. So this time cyclone, the sky is cloudy and the wind blows from high intensity and it rains heavily. Now the duration of these winds is unpredictable and it moves from one place to the another. Now they have given this value of air pressure in the millibars. Once it moves to the directions, it creates high pressure over here. Okay. Now cyclone storms. Cyclone occurring in the western part of the Pacific Ocean along the coast of Japan, China, Philippines, etc. are known as typhoons. Now these storms arises in the month between June and October. Due to high velocity winds and heavy rains, these prove to be destructive. The cyclones in the Caribbean Sea are known as hurricanes. These are also destructive in nature. During these storms, the minimum velocity of the wind is 60 km per hour. Now the cyclones also originate in the temperate zone, but they are not so powerful and hence are not destructive. Now over here in the cyclone storm paragraph, they have explained that these storms occurs in the Pacific Ocean along the coast of Japan, then China, then Philippines, and they are known as typhoons. And these storms comes from June to October. It is seen only on June to October. So it is high velocity wind and heavy rains and very destructive. So the cyclone which comes in the Caribbean Sea are known as hurricanes. Now the minimum velocity of wind is 60 km per hour. Okay, its velocity of the wind is 60 km per hour. Now this is anticyclone. Under specific atmospheric condition, the air pressure is in a particular region increases and the pressure in the surrounding area remains low. In this situation, winds blow from the center towards the surrounding areas in a circular manner. In the northern hemisphere, these winds blow in a clockwise direction, whereas in the southern hemisphere they blow in an anti-clockwise direction. During anticyclones, the skies are clear, wind blows with lesser velocity and the weather is pleasant. Anticyclones generally last for a few days or a week. Since anticyclones originate the temperate zone, on weather map, the center of an anticyclone is represented by letter H. Anticyclones are vividly experienced in high pressure belts. Winds in these regions are always moving out and hence the rainfall in such area is quite low. Now in this, the value of air pressure in millibars, see it is going in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so over here it is high pressure, but once it moves it creates a low pressure. Now in this paragraph, anticyclone paragraph, they have explained that the wind blows from the center towards the surrounding area is a circular manner, in a circular manner, and and it happens when air pressure in a region increases and the pressure in the surrounding area is low. So in northern hemisphere these winds blow from the clockwise direction, and in the southern hemisphere they blow into anti-clockwise direction, and this time the skies are clear, it is pleasant and the weather is good. So it generally lasts for a few days or a week. Okay, so this is how it is explained in this anticyclone paragraph. So students, we have completed this chapter. Hope you all have understood this chapter. Bye students, take care and have a nice day.